Hello and welcome to another episode of EPMS Tech Talk. I'm Joanne LaFlamme.
I'm Chris Costa.
So Chris, what would you like to talk about today?
Well, there's been some new functionality with concerning overs. I thought we could talk a little bit about that.
Sure.
Customer overs.
Okay, that's great. Okay. Let's take a look.
Sure.
So we're going to first start off by looking at the file maintenance module and opening up a customer there. So I'm going to go into file maintenance, I'll go to customers, and I'm going to edit this first customer. And the settings are over in the defaults tab. And you'll notice we have an allowable overs setting here. And what that will let you do is put in a percentage of allowable overs. It's the percentage that the customer allows you to ship over what they order.
True.
We also have allowable unders. Kind of does the same thing. You can put a percentage in there as well.
Yeah.
There's also a couple of options that are associated with customer overs. So let's take a look at those.
Okay.
We have an option here for don't automatically bill the full allowable overs. If I check that, then it won't automatically bill the full 10%. So if a customer has an order quantity of 1,000 and you ship 1,050, then it will bill for 1,050. If you uncheck it, then in the same scenario, if the customer orders 1,000 and you ship 1,050, it's going to bill for 1,100. The other thing that this checkbox does is, with it unchecked, what happens is when you create an order, say for 1,000, it actually plans for the 1,100. It bills in the materials and production quantity to do the full 1,100.
Okay.
If you have it checked, then it doesn't bill that extra production and material quantity in. It just means that if at the end of it all, because you used less spoilage or less make ready, you happen to have leftovers, and then you're shipping and billing those to your customer. So with it checked, it's just whatever you have left over. With it unchecked, it's going to actually plan for it.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Makes sense.
That's option's been there for a while in the system. This new option is the include overs in total quantity. With that checked, what used to happen is the overs were a separate line item on the invoice. So with it unchecked, that's what will happen. The overs will be a separate line item on the invoice. With it checked, it will be incorporated into the main line item of what you're shipping for the order.
And at the same rate?
And at the same rate, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
Good.
Let's take a look at another system setting that deals with customer overs.
Good.
Okay. So I'm going to leave my settings this way, and we'll do a sample of that. I'm going to click OK here, and I'm going to close out of here, and I'm going to go into system settings. In here, under the Options tab, or Options radio button, the very top one says Allow Override of Customer Overs. Now what that will do, if you turn that on to yes, is it gives you the ability in an estimate or an order, in an order particularly, to basically override that number, that percentage that you put in. So if the customer's normal overage percentage is 10%, but maybe for this particular order, they only want 5% overs. You'll be able to change it at the order level, and then it will flow through the system based on that number.
Super.
All right, so let's take a look at an order for with the customer overs.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
So I'm going to go into work in process, and I have an order here. Order number 360, which I'm going to edit, and I'm going to go into the component, and you see here I have customer overs of 10%, and if you remember, my checkbox was checked, so it was going to plan for the 10%. Now my order quantity is 500. I have no spoilage in this job, just for demonstration purposes, so you see that it actually plans for the 10%, 550. Well, maybe in this particular order, they only want 5% overs. I can actually change it here because I have that option set to 5%, and when I hit calculate, it changes it to the 525. Okay, so that's my override. Now I'm going to cancel out of here and just close out of here. And I'm going to go into the AR module and just show you what happens at invoicing. I'm going to go to the job closeout, and I'm going to find that job. So here's my job 360, and I'm going to invoice it. So here it created the invoice with the quantity ordered of 500, the quantity shipped of 550. So it included the orders in my quantity shipped. In my shipping module, I did enter that I shipped 550. And then it based the sell price based on that 550. So remember, if you've used customer overs in the past, the way it used to work is you'd always have the one line item for what you ordered, and then one line item for the customer overs.
Right.
You didn't have the ability to put it together.
Okay.
Okay?
And I guess an additional benefit might be if you want to charge the overs at the regular print rate and didn't want to give the additional M rate, you do it this way anyway,
Right.
and just put them all together.
Right.
So, nice option. Okay, very good.
All right. Do you have any other questions?
No, I think that was perfect.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us for another episode of EPMS Tech Talk. I'm Joanne LaFlamme.
I'm Chris Costa.
Please look forward for more to come.